Everybody, this is Aircraft Expeditions. How's everybody doing? Hopefully everybody's doing well. Having a little bit of positioning problems with the thing here. Just wanted to let everybody know it's a little bit overcast. They're looking at sunny weather for today. The aircraft are landing from the northwest to southeast on runway 13. So looks like runway 13 is our optimal landing spot right now. I'd like to welcome everybody to the channel. We are here at Davis-Monthan Air Force Base. We are doing one of our live streams from here. We're having a little bit of fun with it. For those of you that are joining us, I want to thank you for joining us at Aircraft Expeditions. We're going to have a little bit of fun today. We have Tron 41 up right now. Tron 41 up. He's out doing his, he just took off I'd say about 20 minutes ago. Tron 41, for those of you that don't know, is the EA-37 Compass Call 2, otherwise known as the Banshee. That's what the pilot's car is called, the Banshee. That is the replacement for the EC-130 Hercules. The Compass Call, the older Compass Call. To my knowledge, we still have 2 or 3 left over there on the other side by the 43rd ECS Squadron and 42nd ECS Squadron. So, you know, hopefully they keep them until they fully break in the EA-37. Like I said, we're looking to the northwest right now. We're going to have a little bit of fun today and enjoy ourselves. Like I said, it is a little bit overcast. Supposedly it's going to be sunnier today. And hopefully a lot of this cloud cover burns off. That would be nice. So, without further ado, we're going to get into our plane spotting. Like I said, we're sitting over here at what us spotters lovingly call this place as homeless camp. Because if you look straight ahead on the picture here, the homeless camp is called the 100 Acre Woods. 100 Acre Woods was bulldozed about a month or 2 ago in renovations for the new park construction that's going on. So basically, they cleared all the homeless folks out. You know, God bless them. Relocated them, gave them services, things like that they needed. Tucson's doing a decent job of getting the homeless where they need to go and things like that. So, you know, let's pray for everybody that's dislodged from their homes and things like that. That way they can get back to where they need to be and be better, you know, in society and things like that. So I give prayers out to them. Want to give a shout out to my friends out there, for the subscribers. To all of my subscribers, I want to say, hey, how you doing? Good to talk to all of you. And I love all of you to death, and thanks for all your support. This has been an interesting journey as far as the channel goes. It's slow going, but hey, it's all about fun, and it's all about the chase, as they say. So we just put out a new video. It's about military air spotting here at Davis-Monthan. Go check it out. It's got some decent views on it. As I said before, I used the night vision scope that was given to me. Again, I'm going to give him a shout out. His name is Anders from Uncanny Expeditions, good friend of the channel. I want to say thank you to Anders for giving us this. I will show this to you guys. This is the night vision scope. It's a Chinese made, but it works really well. As you can see, I can go in and plug this into the phone. It's actually like a hard drive. There's a little hard drive in here. Of course, there's the monocular that you look into. This is called the Good to Go gear. good night gear, excuse me. Uh, Night vision scope. It does thermal IR as well as night vision. It does infrared, does night vision, it does low level light, everything like that. Great little tool. I'm glad to have it. And I want to thank Anders from Uncanny Expeditions. Anders, if you're out there and you're watching, thanks a lot, buddy. Appreciate it. Anders runs Uncanny Expeditions, and what he does is he actually he's captured some past few weeks. He's captured what they call a Dorito-shaped type of aircraft over Area 51 and Edwards, and he's basically in that area to take a look. Take a look at what's going on in the Black Project world and things like that, and I coincide with what I do with DreamlandResort.com. I'm actually a team member and researcher and writer and aircraft spotter with them. So whatever's clever, I hope to make a trip up there and do maybe a live stream. But I know for a fact that there's a lot of signal issues up there, so we probably won't be able to do a live stream. We'll attempt it, see what happens. That's happening in the near future. So hopefully I can do a live stream with Anders, and we can go out spotting aircraft and maybe see something unusual. So I've been throwing that out toward him and to see if we can make that happen. I'd also like to give a shout out to Mr. John and Pip Hastings Aviation. John, if you're out there, how you doing? Hopefully you're watching. We are here at Davis-Monthan. This is a good spot to spot, other than the airport. So yeah, it's not too bad. It's a great place. If the winds shift, what I usually do is I look at the winds. I look at the way the aircraft are taking off over at the airport. It gives you a telltale sign if the winds have changed and if they're which direction they're coming. So if that happens this morning while we're live streaming, we're gonna have to move to our other alternative spot, which is on the other side to the southeast, which is over by Wilmot and Valencia. So it's good to see everybody. Hopefully everybody had a great New Year and a great happy Christmas or Merry Christmas. We've been working on a few things like that. We've been doing some night spotting here at Davis-Monthan Air Force Base, as you can see from the new video that we've got out, and hopefully you all enjoy it. It was a heck of a thing to put that together. I've got a combination of infrared and night vision on that video, so I was testing out the new scope and things like that. So it's going to get a little bit better as time goes on. So I'm getting to know how to use it, things like that. It's not a bad learning curve. I mean, you just got to sit there and play around with it. So again, welcome guys. We're here 8 a.m. and we are here at Davis-Monthan. Today is, like I said, today is retirement day. So if we have any retirement aircraft coming in, we will try to capture them for you. And we will also try to capture them on film, on camera. Like I said, I'm sorry for the absence, but like I said, we're preparing for something fairly large. Right now, we got a couple of videos coming out that I've been working on for the channel, and they are going to be a pretty decent storytelling about aviation, things of that nature. We're going to be delving into stories about aviators as well. We're taking the channel into a direction that we want to go, and we want to present stories of the pioneers of aviation as well as the aircraft. We're not just going to focus on the aircraft, we're going to focus on the people. And we're going to tell the story of uh, who did what and where and when and why. So stay with us on the channel for that. Now it's time to break. Maybe I should break out the binoculars to take a look at what we got going on as far as aircraft coming in, which I don't think there's anything remotely coming in just yet because it's too early. Yeah, I don't see nothing as of yet. But that's okay. We got the live stream to check things out. Behind me is runway 13. What we can do is we could probably go over a little ways to get right down the runway, etc., and see what happens at this point. So we might do that. We might walk over there and take a look at what's down the runway and what's taking off. So like I said, I enjoy doing this for you guys because a lot of aircraft come in here that are not advertised, and one of which is not going to be flying in here. The U-2 spy plane. There's 3 that are being retired, and they're going to be trucked from Beale Air Force Base down to Tucson, down to the boneyard. So that's going to be something to actually capture if we can capture it. Hey, there's old Pipster. Guys, meet Pip Hastings Aviation. He does really great live streams at different airports. Go check out his channel, guys. He's awesome. He's a great friend of the channel. We love him to death. Good to see you there, Pip. Great to see you. And it's like I said, I was talking about the U-2 spy plane guys, and they're going to be retiring, I think, the older model or the older serial numbers of the U-2 spy plane. They're going to be trucked from, they're going to be taken apart, trucked on the back of flatbeds, and so on and so forth. What's up, huh? Great to see you, buddy. It's great to see you. So yeah, that's something. If I can capture the U-2 getting trucked on an aircraft on a flatbed to the back gate, which is where normally they go, it's either that or they will go through Aviation Highway past where this spotting location is now. So it's very possible they might get off on Alvarado and go straight up on golf links and go to the Swan Gate, but I sincerely doubt it. They don't want to make a spectacle of the U-2 coming into the boneyard. And I just read an article about that about a week and a half ago, and it's interesting. Like I said, it's good to see you, Pip. I'm glad you could join me. So like I said, nothing going on. We do have Tron 41 up, which is the EA-37 Compass Call 2 Banshees, they call it. And that's, it's not going to be back until later on, probably this morning or this afternoon. But I know for a fact we've got a few aircraft that are, like I said, today is retirement day. Usually Tuesdays and Thursdays at the Air Force Base are retirement days. Hey, Pip, actually what you should get for your channel is you should get these lavalier mics, something like what I've got, instead of that big old headset you got. I can guarantee you you'll be able to, drown a lot of the wind and things like that. it'll be awesome for you. I mean, like I said, I've got a little box here that's got 2 lavalier mics that will actually um, connect to my phone, things like that. It'll connect to my computer if I want to. It'll connect to your laptop. All you have to do is plug them in, get a little dongle, plug it in, and you're good. Now, the way I'm actually live streaming this tip is I'm actually doing the Prism live Prism Mobile, like I was telling you privately. And what this does, they're not that expensive, Pip. They're not that expensive. They're like maybe $30, $30 for these lav mics. They're not that bad. 30 or $40, something like that. You get you get the dongle for it. You get the box, the charging box, the 2 lav mics, so you can have a guest if you want. Yeah, Prism Mobile. Prism Mobile is good. It's less tasking on your phone as far as internet goes, because I've learned that I've tried Streamlabs Mobile. I've tried let's see, I've tried um, other mobile other mobile apps, and this I find to be the one that's easy on the easy on the bandwidth. You know, it doesn't take a lot of power, things like that. I've got it optimized to where I can do a lot of things with it. I mean, you can't really put in a new camera or anything like that yet. I don't know if they have that capability yet or not, but I just use my phone camera. That's all I use. My phone, my camera phone. That's all I use. It's not too bad. You can get rid of the watermark on the Prism Mobile. So I mean, it's like I said, it's not too shabby. I mean, it does what I need it to do. Now with Streamlabs, if you're using Streamlabs, you can actually do all of your kind of like StreamerBot, things like that. StreamerBot will actually automate things for you. I don't know if you. I don't think you can use it on here though, but I know Streamlabs will do it, and so it'll work with OBS because I've done it before. I've actually controlled my PC from my house. I've controlled all of the activity from my house and things like that, and I've actually piped in Prism Lens into OBS, and OBS would actually connect to Prism Lens. There's Prism Mobile and there's Prism Lens. Prism Mobile is what I'm on now, and Prism Lens will actually pipe it into OBS. Nice. StreamerBot is fun. You gotta learn. It's interesting to learn. And I've actually put it in the ADSB. I've also put in ATC in there. I was able to turn it on and turn it off remotely, which is interesting. Oh, looks like we have a striker tank on the back of a flatbed here. You guys will see it in here in a second. Right straight ahead of us, guys. Looks like a striker tank or a military vehicle on the back of a flatbed. See, over here, you see a lot of interesting things as far as what they're moving, because what they're doing is they're actually using the Swan Gate to bring in aircraft and bring in vehicles and things like that. So it's weird, because normally what they do is they'd use the Wilmot Gate back by Valencia and Wilmot, right where the junkyards are and where the actual runway is, because that's what they normally do. They take them to the boneyard right away. Now, as far as the U2 goes, I'm going to try and find out when it's going to be here, you know, if it's going to be here, and where it's coming from. That way I can actually get in there. Now, as you know, Pip, you did a live stream from the Pima Air Space Museum yesterday. We've done a bunch of those. Like I said, you can see aircraft spot from Pima Air and Space Museum from the base or for the base. There's a lot to see over there, guys. If you haven't been there, Pima Air and Space Museum is the place to be. And Pip and I can both tell you it's a lot of walking. A lot of walking. It's about 90 minutes of walking, just pure walking. It's interesting. Of course, they've got the Philippine Mars now. They've got the F-117 stealth fighter, things like that. They're working on it. They're working on an RC-135 or an RC-135 reconnaissance KC-135, basically. You know, a lot of walking, definitely, bud. Yep, definitely. I usually spend the whole day there, just that way I can, when I do my live streams, I can do walk arounds and show people things and everything like that. So it's not too shabby, not too shabby. All right, Pip. Great to see you, bud. Thanks for at least stopping in and saying hi, and we'll look forward to your next live stream. Guys, if you haven't subscribed to this guy, subscribe to him. Is Pip Hastings Aviation. Great guy, great friend, great human being, and brother in Christ. Hey, have a great day. So anyway, we're waiting for our first customers, I call it. So that way we can get out and we can actually have you see it. Now, I don't know if we're going to have a lot of aircraft coming in today. It's hit or miss, guys. Like I said, every time I do these lives, it's hit or miss. As far as aircraft, we might get a QF-16. If we get a QF-16, that's great. If we get a drone, I haven't yet to see a drone come here or fly out of here. I've heard of one flying out of here, but not seen one. So yeah, we're gonna see what comes in. You never know. We might have a C5 come in. It's been known to happen. It's been known to happen. You know, I've spotted here for the longest time with a good friend of mine, two good friends of mine, and some fellow spotters, things like that. So, I mean, it's like I said, it's hit or miss. Hit or miss. Like I said, you kind of take your chances with the Davis-Monthan, but generally, it's once the activity starts, oh boy, it doesn't slow down. And yes, we still have A-10s flying around. Right now, they're from the Indiana National Guard or something like that. No, the Michigan National Guard. They're doing training here. They came in with they had 4 KC-135s, 2 on each flight. There was one flight there was 6 of them that first came in, and then there was 8 that came in right afterwards with 2 more KC-135s. That was about a week or so ago. So I believe they're getting prepared to go to Red Flag on Monday. Of course, Red Flag has been postponed. It's been postponed until Monday, so I guess they're waiting for some of the players to come in over at Red Flag. They're supposed to go over there, and then they're going to more than likely go overseas. So that would be a place to go spotting at is Nellis Air Force Base, and that's exactly what we're going to shoot for. A good friend of mine just went to El Centro to check out the Blue Angels. I want to give him a shout out, Marktown, USA. He actually got some nice footage. You look at his channel, you get some nice footage of the Blue Angels over at El Centro taking off and flying over him. And man, I've been to El Centro once, but not during training season, and only to the air show. And like I said, I've been to Miramar. You guys have seen my Miramar videos, my Miramar air show videos and things like that. So it's like it's great. It's great to be places. Periodically, guys, you're going to hear me give shout outs to certain channels that I really feel that are really noteworthy, and they are friends of the channel itself. So, like I said, I'm giving them props, and because I watch their content all the time, and it's great. It's wonderful. But generally, like I said, this is a good area. There's other spots that I go to by Davis-Monthan. I go by the Boneyard, by Escalante. I go everywhere. As you guys, I have a video of a live stream tour of the Boneyard. We are going to have a video about the Boneyard and how it became into existence. We're going to do the history of the Boneyard. So now you guys are going to enjoy that little video, because it is the history of this Air Force base. And a lot of you didn't know that Howard Hughes used to own all the land here that Davis-Monthan Air Force Base actually sits on right now. All this land and this acreage that they have for the Boneyard, for the base itself, for all supporting areas, was all owned by Howard Hughes, and he sold all of this land to the government for 1 cent, 1 penny. Imagine that, 1 penny. Can you imagine buying land for that much nowadays? That's crazy. All this land, this is at least a few million acres, at least. Yeah, I'm talking away here, waiting for something to come in, guys. So have not yet heard anything take off except for the Tron 41. Once we get more activity, it's going to be a lot better. I was thinking about live streaming at the airport today, but Mr. Pipster already has that covered. We will one day go back to the airport, and we will go spotting live. If people wonder how I do this, like I was talking to Pip Hastings there, I was telling him that Prism Mobile, you can do live streaming from your phone. You can do live streaming from anywhere, as long as you have an internet connection. It's not bad. It's fun. Say, for example, you like to bird watch. Go do that. It's all about the topic you want to cover. You can talk to people about certain subjects, but I choose aviation. And you can do it mobile. You can do long form content. Guys, it's fun. It's fun to do this stuff. It really is. You guys get into it, you guys have fun and enjoy it, and then who knows, maybe you'll get paid for it. Because after 1,000 subscribers, and I believe it's 3,000 or 4,000 watch hours, you start getting AdSense revenue. And it's something. It's a hard thing to achieve. However, it is attainable. We have 824 subscribers now. We haven't gotten 1,000 yet, but you know what? I do this for fun. I do this for fun, and I bring you guys along with me. And it's if you keep something in mind, if your goal, if you want it to be fun, let it be fun. Enjoy yourself. If you want to be, you do it for money, trust yourself. Learn everything about how to do it and how to make money on YouTube. It's not about the money for me. It's about the presenting this to you guys and having fun. I know people are at work and they're like, oh man, I want to be out there so bad and everything like that. But here I am. You know, I have the time and the energy to do it. I haven't heard any F-16s go up from the airport yet, so apparently they might be still be getting prepared. I know that drill weekend is coming up, probably the first weekend of the month, which I believe is this weekend. This weekend or next weekend. It'll probably be next weekend. For those of you that don't know what drill weekend here in Tucson is that the F-16s, probably 3/4 of the F-16s will go up. They will go out and practice their skills that they learned during the week, et cetera, et cetera. They also have night operations where they actually take off at night, full afterburner, you name it. And they will come back and you'll see them land, things like that. Sundays are the fun days because there are some pilots that actually graduate and they're allowed to pull unrestricted climbs from the airport. That's usually not allowed with unless you get permission. So yeah, Pip and I have documented that pretty well. There's a lot of other spotters out there that have documented it as well for the F-16s. Morris Air National Guard Base is basically stationed here in Tucson at the airport, and what they are a major training base for National Guard pilots, things of that nature. I believe some active duty pilots go over there as well. Luke Air Force Base used to be one of the major training centers for active duty F-16 pilots. Same thing with the F-15Cs. Now it's the F-35. And in the foreseeable future, I do not see the Morris Air National Guard Base getting F-15EXs or Cs or whatever you want to call it. From what I've been reading and watching online, it's gonna stay F-16s until the F-16s go out, because we have people from other countries that come here and they train. We have the Taiwanese, we got the Ukrainians, we got all the Israelis even came here. You name it. Pakistanis, they came here. Singapore came here. And I believe right now we've still got the Slovakian pilots that are training with their own aircraft. I mean, it's interesting. Want to thank those of you that are watching. Thank you for joining us and joining this stream with us. I'm going to do a quick check on the outskirts of the base here to see if anything is coming in. Don't see anything on approach as of yet. I've got the binoculars looking. If you guys check it out, it's overcast. They said it's supposed to be sunny today, but I don't know. I guess morning time. Morning time is when everything burns off. It was a little bit foggy last night, so not too bad, but it was foggy. Pardon. Like I said, I don't hear anything taking off as of yet. I don't see anything on the runway. Now, if I can find the actual article I read, I will post it in the community section of the channel. That way, people can read it about the U-2s coming to the boneyard. But as you can see, first 30 minutes of our live stream, we don't have anything coming in or taking off. As I said, Tron 41, he might be coming in later on in the afternoon. You never know. Hopefully, we can catch him on the live stream here. Last night, I was sitting here testing out the night vision scope. Well, again, testing out the night vision scope and getting some captures out of it. And Raider 10 came in from Miramar. And he was flying around doing touch and goes until he decided to stop, or I don't know if he went back to Miramar or what. But he was doing touch and goes, and he was going by Phoenix, doing some refuels, I guess, doing night operations last night. It was very interesting. I'll have another night spotting video coming out. Don't know when, but I'm gonna get enough footage to where y'all can take a look at it and see what's going on. The night vision actually works fairly well at getting the outline of the aircraft. You know, sometimes we'll do some sky watching because there's satellites out there that will be picked up by this. I've picked up satellites before going over Tucson, things like that. It's great. I may try to capture. Well, there's a Falcon 9 supposed to be taking off here. I think here in the next few hours. Well, we won't be able to see it because of the overcast right now, but he might be coming in at night tonight, and we might be able to capture it. If we capture it, I'll capture it on the infrared or night vision. See if I can do that. It'd be nice. Great to see everybody in here. And I enjoy everybody's company here. If you're in the chat there, just go ahead and say hi, and I'll give you a shout out and say what's up. How you doing? A lot of traffic this morning as far as um, residential traffic going back and forth on Aviation Highway and Golf Links. Interesting. You can get from the east side of Tucson to downtown within 5 minutes. It's great. Might see something out there. Nope. Just a bird. I thought I saw something. Funny how things look like a dot and then all you think it's an aircraft. It's not. Not sure if the winds have changed. Now, sometimes, guys, the alert birds will take off, which what I mean by alert birds is a contingent of the Air National Guard is stationed over at Davis-Monthan. And if somebody, like I said before in some of my lives, there's the aircraft defense identification zone, or ADES. If somebody penetrates that without calling in or identifying themselves, or if their transponder is not set correctly, what they'll do is they'll send up those F-16s to intercept and find out what's going on and escort them to either make visual contact, make radio contact, things of that nature, or force them down if they're intruding on the USAF base. That's what they'll do. And then they take off in full afterburner every time. And it's good to see them. And they go over, sometimes they'll go right over top of you. And they'll take off in the opposite direction, which will be over top of us for right now. I believe there are 6 of them out there. I believe they're fully armed as well. I would think so. If they're alert aircraft, you definitely know they're going to be fully armed. Quite interesting. So here in a second, I'm going to give you a vantage point where we're at and what we're doing. If you want to come spot here, if you want to go ahead and hang out here, there's some key things that you got to understand, guys. Do not go past the wash in this spot. Do not go up to any of the fence line, because that is a no-no. Because they can actually tell you to leave or mess with you. If you're in a spot like this, they can't. This is public land. You can't. They can't mess with you. Can't touch you. Now, if you're here for quite a while, like I've been, then yeah, maybe. But no, they usually don't mess with me here. Just be vigilant when you go spotting. If you go airplane spotting or whatever, be vigilant on where you go, because this, you just got to play it cool with everything. And if they come up to you and they ask you, I've had it happen, just tell them what you're doing. Show them some of your work if you have it. Show them your camera if you have a camera. You have a cell phone. Tell them this is what you're doing. That's it. They're pretty good about it. They don't really, as long as you're not taking photographs or video or pictures of the infrastructure of the base, you're fine. My vehicle is pointed away from it, so I don't see I'm not recording anything behind me. Now, if you're recording it and you get the aircraft, that's fair game. Fair game. I mean, nothing wrong with that. They're fairly lenient until somebody crosses the line. A lot of you probably heard there was someone from China that was aircraft spotting over at Whiteman Air Force Base. Wow, we have coyotes. We have coyotes right next to me here that are really loud. because of the sirens. If I can, I'll get them if they come up here. But I can hear them. They're really close. They're like right by this tree over here. Here, let me show you guys. They're right by this tree where I'm pointing. Right there. Right there. That was crazy. when the sirens went off, they started howling. Arizona, you can see a lot of stuff. You got to watch out for the snakes. You got to watch out for the javelina. Javelina roam within the city. You've got coyotes that are out here. I mean, literally. You got all kinds of animals here. Sometimes you'll see bobcats down here coming from the mountains, but that's by the foothills area. They come from they're like mountain lions and stuff that come down here. It's pretty awesome. We might have our first customer here as far as helicopter goes. Like I said, this is a very popular spot, guys, for when the air show comes around, because a lot of people sit up here and they take photographs and they watch the air show from here outside, so they don't have to walk. Things of that nature. You know what? Let's turn on the. Maybe we can get something on the scanner here. Got the scanner with me. 123.05. If you want to listen in on the. If you're in Arizona or in Tucson, 123.05 is the radio frequency for the Davis-Monthan Tower. Again, 123.05. Uh-oh, we got something. I didn't think I would hear something on here this early, but I did. As you can see, the radio's on, the scanner's on. So we may have our first customer. Let's see. Trying to listen to see if got a weak signal, but okay, we got something that's either taxiing or taking off right now, so let us get out and see what's up. So you guys are going to travel along with me here. I'm going to close the tripod here. Let me take you guys off of this real quick. Oh. Bear with me just a second, guys. Oh, there goes the phone. All right. There goes the phone. All right. Let's get outside and take a look. Had a little bit of an epic fail there, guys. All right, so here's where we're at. Y'all can see there, every time you go on golf links, that's the hangar that's away from everything else. We don't know what they store in there. Could be, you never know. But down this way here, if you look where my finger is, that's where the runway is. And as of right now, I don't see anything taxiing as far as the I can see here. So, but there is something actually active on the radio, so you never can tell. You never can tell. And just so you guys know, this is this road right here goes all the way around to that. It's not on the base, but it goes right to the wash area. This right here is the wash, guys. This is what I was talking about before. Do not cross that, because over by there is the actual fence line. You don't want to cross that. If you're going to spot or come to Davis-Monthan, you can come here where I'm sitting at, which is right here. You'll see my vehicle here. But you can come up through here and then park right here, or park it here, or park here, whatever. You can, if you want to go down that road right there and spot aircraft, you can, but you got to be real careful if you have a low clearance vehicle. You have a truck, yeah, it's no problem. But just be careful, because there are things in the road, rocks, whatever. You got to be careful. It's a very, it can be treacherous. It can be very treacherous. So, you know, the tower is down there, down in that area. You've got the radar down that area. I'm not giving away any infrastructure, but this is where we come and spot. This is one of the spots anyway here at Davis-Monthan. And of course, you got the nice, beautiful mountains there, the Catalina Mountains. You got the, I believe, the Rincon's over there. We're surrounded by a valley, is what it is. Very nice and very beautiful. So you get a really nice spotting experience when it comes to Davis-Monthan. So we're looking to see if there's anything. I don't see nothing out there. But I enjoy doing this. I mean, you can sit over there too. I mean, there's this wide open area. A little far off, you know, you come up through that little patch right there from the road, and you come up and you can park anywhere you want. However, just like I said, do not go through that wash. That's a big no-no. Oh, we got something. Let's see. I think we got something on the runway here. Take a look. Let's take a look. See if y'all can see it. I don't know if there's anything out there. The naked eye is real difficult. Oh, the Sherpa. There was a Sherpa that landed here last night. There's a Sherpa that landed here last night. It's a civilian Sherpa. It's painted gray. Back in the day, they had a bunch of Sherpas, Shorts 330 Sherpas, that were actually at the Pima Air and Space Museum, that actually were towed from the boneyard to Pima Air Museum to be reactivated for civilian. I guess Pima does reactivation for civilian aircraft. They did that with the P-3 Orions. They did that with the Coulson C-130s from the Norwegian Air Force. Things like that. Coulson's got a new fleet of C-130 tankers, fire bombers, which, as you guys know, the Philippine and Hawaii Mars both have been retired as their main workhorses. They've got 737s, they've got C-130s, they got BA-146s that they use. Yeah, sounds like the Sherpa's taking the takeoff here. Oh, there it is. I can see it. Guys, I'm going to zoom in here. If you see the lights, right between that tree right there, you'll be able to see it. I want to see if I can get over here real quick so we can go down the runway side here. So let's walk over this way. Let's walk over this way. I'm walking toward where I heard the coyotes. And I think I see a coyote right there. I think he might be sitting underneath the tree right there. Nope. Okay. All right. Nope. Can't see the runway. And of course, there's a drainage thing for the Air Force Base. So we're walking down this road here. See if we can't get any a clear shot of what's taxiing here. I know it's got to be that Sherpa that landed here last night. There it is. There's a C-130 actually. That's what's taxiing. Sounded so much like a Sherpa. But there is a Sherpa here today. Now we've got some action. I believe that is Raider 1, if I'm not mistaken. Could be. Of course, I can't see ADSB. He's on the active. I'm going to have to get a telephoto lens for my camera. There he goes. He's rolling. And there's another one. There's another C-130. Look at that. There goes the first C-130. It's already lifted off. I mean, we can see the aircraft taking off on the other side. If I get the consensus from all of those that are watching, if they want me to head over that direction, I can do that. There he goes. That's the second of two C-130s. Second of two. Yeah, taxiing in position, and he's gonna head out of here pretty soon. Davis-Monthan also has the Combat King, which is the MC-130J. We still have the C-130s. We also have sometimes the occasional KC-130s, which are from the Raiders over in Miramar. There goes our boy right there. He's up. That's what I love about the C-130, guys. The C-130s use short field takeoffs. They take off within 700 to 800 feet, maybe less. And they can reverse on the runway. I've seen them happen a lot. Seen it happen a lot. Same thing with the C-17. C-17 can do the same with its thrust reversers. Pretty awesome stuff. And it doesn't look like they're going to be working the pattern because they have not come onto the pattern over here. So, yeah. All right, where is he? Where'd he go? Oh, he must have busted through the clouds already. Yep, he did. This is great. All right. Doesn't look like anything else. I thought they were both sure. It was a Sherpa taking off because Sherpa landed last night here at Davis-Monthan and then he parked, etc. So, yeah. We're going back to the old blue jalopies, they call it, as I call it. But over here, if you look, guys, that is Border Patrol. They consolidated all their assets to the Air Force Base. And the Air Force Base is now their home. There used to be offices around Tucson, one over off of Ajo Way and one over on the north side of Tucson. And they consolidate everything here. They also have a hangar over here for their aircraft. There is a specialized hangar across the way for them that it gives them reach, as they call it. I'm going to put you guys right up here on top of the car. I know it's a bit lopsided, sorry. Just got to get something here real quick. And we do have activity, so there is things happening. Like I said, it is Thursday. Retirement days are usually Tuesdays and Thursdays at the base. So, well, that's, like I said, that's Border Patrol. And that's CBP area. Now, I'm not trying to promote anything, guys. Okay? This channel is not that that way. The only thing we're trying to promote here is aviation. So, I'm showing you guys the Border Patrol. And I know you guys have your reservations about it, but please, not in my comments. I want to ask you guys that in advance. But this is for aviation only. I realize there's a lot of calamity going on right now in the United States and the world. But we're here to present the aviation aspect of it only. So if you do comment on the live stream after the live stream's done, please keep the comments to aviation related only, because I will remove those other comments. We are not political on this channel, and we are not going to post our opinions. Like I said, I realize it's a very heated situation now, but we're not going to do that. We're bringing the joy of aviation to everybody that wants to know about it, and that's what the reason for this channel. I'm here to present the good stuff about aviation and our military. Our military has done a hell of a job protecting this country, and our veterans have done a hell of a job protecting this country and giving our freedoms to speak up and to do what we're going to do. So we'll leave it at that. All right. So, looking at the sky here, I'm not seeing much air traffic going on. I see something up top here. What is this? I see something up top. What is this? Oh, let's get the binoculars out. No, I just saw it. There it is. Oh, that's what the C-130 just took off. He's going west. He's going northwest. Yep, he's already at like 15,000 feet. Look at that. Wow. Amazing. Now the F-16s are taking off from the Tucson Air Guard. Cool. We might get some F-16 action, guys. That would be wonderful. That would be wonderful. Now it looks to me like the B-21 is getting a ramp up of production. A lot of folks are reporting that the production of the B-21 could be anywhere between now, later in the year and the beginning of the year. It's going to be interesting. I guess a lot of testing. They've got 2 B-21s out there at Edwards Air Force Base. And the reason I mentioned the B-21 now, guys, is there's a reason for it. I can't really reveal that reason. There's a few people that do know about it, about what I'm talking about, but let's put it to you this way. That's one of the reasons why I acquired the night vision gear. If a lot of you can put 2 and 2 together, then great. I'll just leave it at that. It's going to be a surprise. And once we have that surprise, we'll be spotting for it. So I'll leave it at that. You guys can, without spilling the beans directly, you guys will know exactly what I'm talking about. There's a few of you out there that do know what I'm talking about. I've made it clear to some of you. The wonderful part about spotting, guys, and doing what I do on this channel is it's the fun of the chase. Like when I chased the Philippine Mars from Sells, Arizona to Tucson, that was a really fun opportunity that I've got, and I'm going to be posting that with the video I'm working on for the Philippine Mars. It's been a slow work in progress, guys. It's been delayed a few times. It still is delayed, but we're putting together we're going to be putting together that video in chunks. We're going to be putting together first the history of the Philippine Mars, where it came from, who manufactured it, things like that, the history of that particular aircraft. and we're going to be putting together a series on it. And it's going to be a kind of like a we're going to have the history of it. We're going to have the chase or the arrival at Lake Pleasant. I've got video to document that, and basically we got the chase as well, which is very interesting. The chase was fun, I tell you. I can't stress enough how much fun it was to chase that. It was a lot of fun. All right, we're gonna get back in the car. It's getting chilly out here. Getting a little chilly. All right, gonna have to go to Wendy's for some chili. That's okay. All right. If I have to exit the vehicle, I will. But you know, we've been, like I said, we've been putting together a lot of things for the Philippine Mars video. It's slow going. It's painstaking. We've got a lot of folks that are contributing to this, and I've gotten a lot of video from Sport Lake. I've got a lot of video from when I trip down from Sport Lake to San Francisco to here. So I'm trying to pick and choose the best footage for the video, and hopefully it'll come out the way I want it to, and so on. And of course the voiceover, and it's going to be great. It's going to be awesome. I've already got several voiceovers already planned up for it, and I've been playing around with it, and life has gotten in the way a little bit of my production of that video, but it's coming. It's coming soon. We also have, like I said, a video of the story of the rescue of Bat 21 Bravo. Bat 21 Bravo is, of course, if you guys know who Colonel Iceal Hamilton is, there's a movie about it called Bat 21, but that's just Hollywood. The real story is the real story of the actual rescue, and it's going to be wonderful. I knew Colonel Hamilton when I first started living in Arizona. Like I was saying before, I actually read the book. At the very end of the book, it says Colonel Hamilton now resides in Tucson, Arizona, near a golf course. And I kind of tracked him down a little bit through the phone book. I don't know if anybody remembers the phone book, the big thick phone books that we used to have. But it was interesting because I'm sitting there, like, my father, he says, hey, why don't you just write to him? Just send him out a letter, see what happens. 3 weeks later, I got a letter from him. And I asked him all kinds of questions. I asked him what type of aircraft he flew. He flew the B-24, B-29, B-47, B-52. He was a navigator on the B-17 also. So he flew every major World War II aircraft, or bomber, I should say, out there. And every major one up to the Vietnam War, which was the B-52. And then he switched over to the EB-66, which, as all of you know, the B-66 was a spin-off of the A-3 Skywarrior, as well as it was the Air Force version of the A-3 Skywarrior, made by Douglas Aircraft. The B-66, we have one at the Pima Air and Space Museum. It's basically the same version, but it wasn't an RB-66. It was just a regular bomber version of it. And reading back in the day about the incidents for the RB-66, or the EB-66, pardon, not RB-66. I'm just correct myself here. The EB-66 had a lot of issues with engines and things like that, and it was interesting the way they dealt with those problems. It was very, very interesting the way they dealt with those problems. They were based, a lot of them were based out of Korat Air Base in Thailand and Vietnam, and that's where the EB-66 that Hamilton flew in was out of. And what had happened was that he got shot down by an SA-2, which is a surface-to-air missile. Basically blew the tail off. I was looking on Facebook here, guys, and there's a Vietnam page that I'm a part of, a Vietnam War page, and this gentleman who was part of that particular rescue went back to Vietnam where the EB-66 crashed and where things took place as far as the rescue and where Hamilton landed and things like that. I was watching this, I'm like, wow, it puts it into a lot of perspective, guys, on the things that had happened and that transpired. And honestly, this happened only within a few miles of each other. The crash, him landing, him going to the river to get picked up, things like that. It's only within like 4 or 5 miles, not even. And it's interesting the way that all went down. About 12 or 13 people died in that rescue. Not like what it says in the movie. The movie just gives it. The movie compresses it into an hour and a half to 2 hours, which it was 12 to 13 days. It's amazing. There's a couple of really good books out there. The first book is by Anderson, and the other books I forget who the authors were, but I'll post them if you guys want me to. But it tells the real story of how the rescue went down, and I want to tell that story because I knew Colonel Hamilton personally. The way I knew Colonel Hamilton personally is that when I wrote my letter, my father and I came down to the Peam Air and Space Museum for the very first time back in the 90s. I think it was 1998 or 1997. And we came down from Phoenix to go to the air show, the Davis-Monthan Air Show. Imagine that. So that was the start of a friendship that I started with Colonel Hamilton. Give you guys an idea of how he and I got to know each other. It was very funny. My father and I said, hey, we're in Tucson. Let's go over and see if we can find Colonel Hamilton's house. And I'm like, psycho. I know that's what a lot of you are saying, psycho. No, but, it's like, I told him that we were coming down in a letter. I would correspond with him, I would say maybe once or twice a month. And I said, yeah, my father and I are coming down for the air show. Oh, yeah, I go to the air show all the time with my wife, Gwen, and we have a lot of fun and so on and so forth. And came down, didn't meet him at the air show, of course, obviously, because he was at home. Of course, he was in his 70s at least. But we stopped, we found his house, and sure enough, the man lived across the street from a golf course. Amazing. And I said, Dad, his car was in the vehicle, and his vehicle was in the driveway. The license plate he had was BAT 21. The license plate, I'm not kidding, guys. If I had pictures, I would post those. But the license plate said BAT 21 on it. Okay? It would look like an older Chevy or something like that he had. But it said BAT 21 in the driveway. I'm like, hey, Dad, that's the house. And that's the exact address. So we stopped. My dad gets out, and I'm still sitting in the car like an idiot. Like an idiot. scared out of my mind because I don't want to get yelled at, for coming up to his house, knocking on his door and stuff like that. Me being a shy person I was at the time, I'm like, my father said, "You stupid, you're stupid, man. Come on out, don't even, you know." And so I get out of the car. My father's already knocking on the door, and Colonel Hamilton, his wife actually answers, and she opens the door and he asks for Colonel Hamilton. Is Colonel Hamilton here? She goes, yes. And who are you? And I heard the conversation. It was funny. My father's like, well, my son's been writing to your husband um, for quite some time. Oh, okay. And that's exactly what I heard. Oh, okay. Then I'm like, oh, okay, fine. I kind of get out of the car, unbuckle my seatbelt, get out of the car. And standing by me like a stupid idiot, standing by the car still. It's funny. And my father's like, come on, kind of waving me over. It's funny. And I walk up the driveway and walk up the sidewalk there. And I'm just going very slow. My father's like yelling at me. He's like, "You come on, you slowpoke. He doesn't have all day." And my father started talking to him. Says, "Hi, Colonel Hamilton. I'm so and so. I'm Dan. I'm his father." And my father's like, "Come on, Dan. Come on." So it's like I kind of was real shy, like as a shy kid, back then. Not like I am now, but it blew my mind the way he shook my hand. He grasped my hand. He says, "It's very nice to meet you finally." He says, "Come on in, come on in." His wife was baking peach cobbler, and she was almost done with it. She was doing some peach cobbler during the afternoon, and she's making her, I guess, Colonel Hamilton loved peach cobbler or pie or whatever. And we were invited. My father was invited. He had coffee. I had Coca-Cola. That's where I got my taste of Coca-Cola from, and that's why it's my favorite, is because of that reason. It was very funny. And so I kept drinking Coke. That's what I drink today. But we sat there and we were talking, and Colonel Hamilton's like, I was asking him questions about the golf code that they were going back and forth with. He goes, yes, it was a prearranged code because a lot of the commanders and a lot of the some of the crew, they used to play golf because, of course, back in the day, they were very golf fanatics and things like that. That's how come golf got popular. Not because of the rescue, but because it was popular back then. Same as football was back then. Same was baseball, but golf was very popular too. And that's when Arnold Palmer was starting to becoming a star in the golf world, So we were talking. I asked some questions about the code and everything like that. I said, "How did you guys come up with that?" He says, "Well," and he told me the story, and I said, "Does the movie reflect that very accurately, or with some truth to it?" He says, he goes, "It's dead on." Said, because what we did is we went ahead and we arranged a pre-approved code in case something does happen. And I wasn't going on a joyride. I was actually finalizing targets for the B-52 bombers. This is unclassified now, but so I was finalizing targets, so we could, clear the area for the B-52s to do do their missions. I'm like, okay. So, and we came up with this code in case one of us got shot down. There was another guy in another EB-66 who was also lieutenant colonel as well. Okay. So he said, in case one of us got shot down or the crew got shot down, the entire crew was briefed on this code, so we could be rescued and not captured. And I'm saying to myself, wow, this is. And I mentioned something about the Navajo code talkers. He says, exactly. We want to make sure that if something that the enemy doesn't know what it's about, what it's about, they can't catch on as quickly, and we've already be done and over with, as far as picking us up or whatever case may be. So, we got to talking, got to saying, hey, we were there for about 2 or 3 hours. We were chatting up a storm. I tell you one thing, guys, that was the best. Other than meeting Heatley over at the museum, that was one of the best meetups. And he's not a famous person per se, but Gene Hackman played him in the movie, and it was very surreal. Okay, I felt like I was walking on hollow ground when I walked into his house. And I said to him, I said, Colonel Hamilton, let me ask you a question. I'd love to keep in contact with you. I said, he said, have you ever played golf, son? I said, I've watched it. I've always fallen asleep to it. He's like, well, if you play it, you'll stay awake. So he said, I tell you what, in a couple of weeks, meet me over here. I'll teach you how to drive at the driving range. I'm like, okay. I'm just burning gas right now, guys, so that way we can at least get something coming into the base here. But my first time doing a drive, he taught me a lot about the golf clubs. Taught me a lot about what club to use and what not to use for driving, and for actually using to hit a ball. The different weights of the irons, as they call it. It was something, guys. I'm telling you. And then what really struck me is that we once a month usually we used to go actually play golf together. I sucked at it. I sucked at golf big time. My handicap was so bad it wasn't funny. My scores were so bad. He used to beat me all the time. Of course, he used to play it almost every single day. But I got a job over at the local newspaper here, and I went down on my break, and I saw his family there. I recognized his family because his family came over to his house a few times. I recognized his daughter, things like that, and I said, "What are you guys doing here?" And because I was out of contact with Gene for a while, Colonel Hamilton for a while. Gene we used to talk almost every other week for a couple of hours at least. And I said, what's going on? I said, well, about a week ago, Gene died. I'm like, oh my God. I just stopped dead in my tracks. I didn't even go on my break. I was going to go outside and, have a cigarette or whatever you want to call it. And I said to myself, he did? I was in amazement. I was not in amazement. I was in shock, more so to speak. And she says, yeah, he passed away about a week and a half ago. And we're just doing a obituary for him so people can come pay the respects. Needless to say, I started crying because, of course, it hit me personal. It's personal thing that happened. And I gave his family a hug. I said, I'm so sorry for your loss. It messed me up the rest of the day. And when I went home, I actually called my father on the phone and I told him what had happened. He's like, are you serious? I said, yeah, they came in today to file an obituary. I have witness of all this. My good friend Stephen, who now works at the mine here in Green Valley, really good friend of mine for about 20 years. He was there with me. That's how my friend Steve and I became friends, because he was a security guard there at the newspaper. So Now you know a little bit of background about me and Bat 21. So that's the story. And that's a true story. I wish I could have taken pictures with Colonel Hamilton, but unfortunately, cell phones didn't have cameras back then. They had really bad, the ones that actually, had cameras were really crappy cameras, not like what we have today. So that hit me hard, guys. It really did. It was very personal to me, and that's one of the reasons why I'm doing this video, because I want to do it in tribute to Gene and his family, as well as his wife, who has passed away also. And I want to make sure that the story is kept alive. We're going to do a little tidbit about the EB-66. We're going to take pictures and video of the B-66 that's at the Pekin Air and Space Museum. And we're going to include it in the video. And we're going to basically put it out there on the channel. That's the backdrop of why I'm doing that. Because I want that story to be told, because that story is very personal to me. Same thing as the Philippine Mars, basically. A lot of us reflect on what we've done. Like, for example, when I met Heater Heatley at the museum, I've got pictures of that. I can post those. Heater and I, he was up in Phoenix doing some. Those of you who don't know who Heater Heatley is, his picture, if you guys look on Top Gun is the movie where his picture actually came from. That same picture that's in the bar scene, if you look at the bar scene where he meets Charlie, and he says, "I need a beer to put these flames out," you know. If you look carefully, that particular picture was in an article that was written, I forget where, I don't remember exactly where, but that particular picture was used in that particular article. It was called Top Guns. It was a magazine or a newspaper article outside of, in California. It's in California. It was about Naval Air Station Miramar and the Top Guns. And that was the basis for the movie Top Gun. Heater Heatley was the photographer for that particular photograph, okay? And not only that, but Heater Heatley actually flew some of the flying scenes, as well as was a backseater for some of the filming of Top Gun. He was a consultant on Top Gun. If you read more into Heater Heatley, guys, he was also part of the Top Hats. Top Hats were basically the folks that took Russian equipment, enemy equipment, and they would reverse engineer over at Groom Lake. Okay, you won't go into specifics on what he used to do, etc., but that's fine. Heater said that he was part of the Red Hats, not the Top Hats, the Red Hats, and he did a lot of testing. He's well known in the community, aviation community. Same thing with Dave Boronik. Dave Boronik actually was a F5 pilot in the movie. Lloyd Abel, his name is Bozo, actually flew Tom Cruise around in his F-14. There is an interview about it. I have an interview with Bozo on this channel. If you want to take a look at it, check it out, guys. It's fun. It's pretty cool. It's funny because when we had the interview, Bozo had the second helmet that was printed with, well, it was printed with Maverick on the back. It's the second one that was ever made. It was there's only two that were made, two or three that were made. One of which Tom Cruise had it, and he sold it. The other one is in Bozo's den. You guys look at the video on the backdrop of his shelving on the very top on the left side. You'll be able to see it. And that's not a fake. That's not a reproduction. That's the real McCoy. That was used in the movie. And I was joking with Bozo. I said, look, you want to give that to me one of these days? He says, no, that's going to my kids. That was pretty funny. But it was a great interview. I enjoyed Lloyd's company. He and I have been friends since then. Lloyd, Heater, Matthew Lawler, and someone I don't want to mention right now because he did something ridiculous. It helped with writing my article about the F-14 here at the Peterman Air and Space Museum. I wrote that article because I wanted to debunk any type of fallacies about that F-14 that it was used in the movie, because there were some people that were saying that it was, and it was not. Pardon me, guys. Oh, wow. Little bit of dry throat goes a long way. But yeah. That whole story with the whole true story of Bat 21 is a great story to tell. It's a wonderful story, guys. So yeah, that's why aircraft expeditions exist. That's why it exists, and that's why it's going to continue to exist, because we love aviation, and we're not going to falter when it comes to aviation. It's been a lifelong dream of mine to become a pilot. It's been a lifelong dream of mine to be in aviation. And if I can do something to spark the interest of the younger crowd, I will do that. Because there are two reasons why I got into aviation and I got into engineering, is because number one, Scotty from Star Trek and a couple of famous pilots I met. I think we have 10s taking off, guys. Let me take a look. Yes, we have A-10s that are on the taxiway right now. There they go. A-10s and are going airborne. It's amazing how quiet those A-10s are with those big turbofans they have. It's the birthday of the A-10 just passed. I think on the 18th of this month. But there's a lot of stories out there in aviation, guys, that need to be told. My buddy over at the History Hangar, the History Chaser, Brian Gordon, is telling a lot of good stories about some of the historical aircraft out there. things of that nature. And he's been telling a lot of good stories, but I want to actually tell the stories of the pilots and the people around aviation that have done a lot of work to get us where we are today. People like Chuck Yeager, people like Piasecki, Sikorsky, things like that. I want to be able to tell the story of how things have gone down in order to get us where we are today in aviation. Now, since a lot of you don't know this, or I'm sure a lot of you do know this, but I do write for dreamlandresort.com, and I wrote a few articles about the F-47, as well as the drones that are out there, the Andurils, the General Atomics drones, things like that. And it's amazing how technology has gone from the loyal wingman, or just the Wright brothers, to being a loyal wingman. You have drones that are actually flying around you that you can control from an F-35 or from an F-22 or even an F-15EX. That's amazing. I'm not looking at the chat right now, guys, so if you're commenting or anything like that, sorry about that. I was outside. Oh, there goes the neighborhood. All right, so yeah, with that being said, you know, we're still scanning the sky. Maybe we have. I just saw some A-10s take off, so we'll see what happens with those guys. Don't see anything in the pattern right now. I'm sure later on in the day here we'll be getting more. I believe it's 9:41 right now. 9:41. I want to thank everybody for joining me here. This is a great little time that we're having. We've been doing a lot of much to do about nothing right now. We had 2 C-130s take off just now. We had I think 3 or 4 A-10s that just took off. Nothing in the pattern right now. We're going to be watching the sky. Guys, if you're in the chat or if you're watching, just jump in the chat and say hello. I want to give everybody a shout out here. Hopefully my audio sounds real good. I've got the lav mics running. Great to see everybody here. I've been advertising this for a few days now, just to see what comes up and comes down at this point. You know, it's one of the reasons why I love living in Arizona, because you see all kinds of interesting stuff. Anywhere from the Rolls-Royce test bed to the C5 or Antonov come in here. It's amazing. You'll see a lot of other aircraft come in here too. Unusual stuff. We're still supposed to be seeing a B-1 come in to be retired, so I'm waiting for that to come in. That'd be amazing. I do have the digital camera ready. Now, the tools that I use, of course, I use regular apps. I pay for only one app, which is called Jet Tip. Jet Tip is actually a wonderful little app. It'll actually tell me what's coming into Davis-Monthan. Now, it will not tell me military aircraft. It'll tell me civilian aircraft, and it'll tell me sometimes military if they got their transponders going and they file a flight plan. A lot of these military aircraft don't file a flight plan publicly. So, of course, we know why, because of all the operations and training and all that stuff going on. Not everyone does. Of course, we won't see anything about Air Force One because that's private. It's kind of like hush hush. But we've had Air Force One come to Tucson and to Davis-Monthan. There's only like one or two times. There goes the more A-10s. I can hear them in the background here. They should be back within about an hour or two. Unless of course, they're going to their final destination. We'll see what happens. I'm glad to have you guys here. Thanks for joining me. Just here at Davis-Monthan. Like I said, we'll do a live stream over at the airport, probably another time. We're kind of getting to the point of where we are um, trying to alternate between airports, between Davis-Monthan and Tucson Airport. Sometimes I'll go up to Marana to go check out an aircraft, and we'll stop at Abra Valley Airport, Marana Regional, Northwest Regional. And if we're out and about traveling, we'll go to different airports and things like that. My next trip that I'm going to do, I will have um, full blown capability for um, going live. The last two times I went to California, I didn't have. I tried to do a live stream from the USS Midway, but that didn't work out too well. I had a more of a poopier phone and poopier internet and things like that. Didn't work too well. Good to see everybody staying sitting with me and enjoying. Hopefully enjoying the show. Can like and subscribe to the channel. If you want to donate, there's donate links up there up by the description. You'll see our blog. You'll see our donation link. You'll also see our Facebook page, as well as our um, Instagram as well. Sorry, I'm trying to listen to the guys to see what's maybe taxing. think I hear an F-16. Could be a QF-16 taking off. So there, it's an A-10. Kind of sounds more like an A-10. Usually, also, guys, you can tell how what an airplane usually is by the engine sound. There's some aircraft that's got the same engine. Like, of course, you can tell an A-10 distinctively. You can tell a C-130 distinctively. I mean, you can tell a C-5 distinctively because that low drone whine of the turbofan engines is something. Now, we may cut this off around 2 hours, guys. I don't know. If there are more stuff, I will get more highlights of what's been going on. Like I said, we started at 8 o'clock this morning because I got word that there was aircraft that were going to take off um, and come back at the same time. So they were going to do pattern work. We'll stay online as long as we can, as long as our battery will let us. Like I said, a lot of this spotting at Davis-Monthan is hit or miss. See what happens at this point. I mean, it's all great. It's all great, guys. It's just waiting for it. I mean, Tucson Airport probably would be better for today. It's overcast. Said it's supposed to be sunny, and I don't see it being sunny. It is sunny. It's not rainy outside. It's just strange. Surprised nobody's talking in the chat. It's unusual. Try to keep it interesting. But I heard more A-10s. Oh, there's a big abundance of vehicles going back and forth. Hey, we can vehicle spot. There we go. No, I'm just kidding. But one thing I would like to ask our subscribers here, if you're watching this after the live stream, is do me a favor, please. I'm going to put up a comment or a post about what you want to see going on the channel. I already understand that there's got to be some story videos out there. What topics would you like to see coming up? What do you want to see going on? And I'll make the video about it. Or what type of aviation history you want to see? I need some ideas, guys. That's what I need, because on YouTube, of course, you suffer burnout on creating. And like I said, I do my best to figure out what needs to be done next. I figured these lives and the best of plane spottings would be better for you guys to watch. That way you see what type of aircraft are coming in and so on and so forth. Take videos of it and then put it together later. These live streams are kind of pointless if there's nothing happening, and that's unfortunate, but that's the way it goes. If you catch something, you catch something, especially at the location you're in. If I go down to the airport now, which I could do, and then get back on and do live spotting there with you guys. I mean, I could do that, but that would you'd have to go with me here, and I would actually go in and I would not stop the live, but I would I would drive all the way down. I would drive while you guys are watching. Of course, hands free. Make sure there's no issues going on. But the problem is, if I do that and I leave here and I see something on radar, I'd be poised to come back here. So let me know. Give me ideas, guys. I'm gonna go ahead and basically just basically say the email for aircraft expeditions, aircraftexpeditions@gmail.com. Guys, just flood me with your ideas, and that way we can better cater to what you guys want to see, and so on and so forth. I know that you want to see a walk around of a whatever aircraft, whatever. I mean, just let it rip. Let it rip. I'm all ears for ideas, guys. Put it that way. So, like I said, you experience burnout on YouTube, and it is a fact. And like I said, sometimes there's things I just don't want to produce anymore. I don't want to do. Honestly, don't want to do walkarounds. I can do walkarounds with voiceovers, but that would actually give you it would bore a lot of you guys. That's some of the things that we started doing without the voiceovers. So let me know in the email, aircraftexpeditions@gmail.com. Basically, the channel name at gmail.com. I think for now, guys, I'm going to stop the live. Looks like nothing is coming in right at the moment. We're right at the 2-hour mark here, and I need to recharge batteries at this point. If I go back on, you guys will be the first to know. I'll let you guys know if I'm going to go back on or not. But at this point in time, I'm just going to say goodbye for now. This is Dan with Aircraft Expeditions. You guys have a wonderful day. Please like and subscribe, and please donate to the channel. There's links on top where the overview is on the channel. Thank you very much, guys. We'll talk to you soon. Hopefully, there's some activity that starts here shortly. Like I said, I just don't want to bore you guys with all the much to do about nothing. As far as no aircraft coming in, I know there's A-10 that took off, and there's two, C-130s that took off, but that's about it. Tron 41 this morning. I mean, there's nothing really going on at this point. So, I mean, I might go live on a short. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how things are. But until then, I'm going to go in and recharge the battery for the phone, and I should be back, hopefully. If not, we'll do it another time. Talk to you guys later. Have a great day. We'll hopefully see you later.